world's most famous death penalty cases, that of Mumia Abu-Jamal, is putting Philadelphia prosecutors' actions back in the spotlight. The cases of hundreds of other PA prisoners also stand to be reopened. Philly prosecutors have historically obstructed justice in the courts, and they continue to do so. On May 30th, the Philly DA stonewalled a judge's order to release its files in Mumia's case. The same judge has just issued a new ruling, ordering the Philly DA to fully comply with the release of the files by July 7, 2017. Well, July 7th came around, and guess what? The Philly DA's office claims they need more time, requesting a 1 to 2 week extension. Call, email, and tweet the DA. Demand that they actually follow the judge's order this time. Stop playing games with imprisoned people's lives. Stop the stall tactics. Release all the files.
Release all the files! Release all the files!
Bring Mumia, release every single file.
Who's Mumia?
In 1979, Mumia won Columbia University's prestigious Major Armstrong Award for its radio editorial of the Pope's visit to Philadelphia.
In 1981, Philly magazine identified him as one of 81 people to watch.
That same year, Mumia was sentenced to death for killing a Philadelphia police officer.
A rising star journalist killed a police officer? That doesn't make sense.
Keep in mind, Mumia became a target of the police and the FBI when he joined the Black Panther Party at the age of 14.
In the media, the Black Panthers were demonized for their work against police brutality.
In reality, they took care of the community and launched a free children's breakfast program, legal clinics, and community health initiatives.
Mumia's FBI file contains a photo of him with the word dead written on the back.
The FBI couldn't kill him, so the Philly DA and police framed him. And he's been in jail for 36 years.
But now, a landmark Supreme Court ruling can overturn Mumia's conviction.
What did it rule?
In Williams versus Pennsylvania, the High Court ruled that Ronald Castile, the judge who denied Terrence Williams' appeal, had a conflict of interest.
Why?
It's a conflict of interest because it's a violation of the Constitution for a judge to rule on a case in which he previously worked on as a prosecutor.
So he was the prosecutor and then judged the case?
Exactly. He had a conflict of interest. Judge Castile should have recused himself from that appeal case, but he didn't.
So what does this have to do with Mumia?
The same conflict of interest violation in the Williams case surfaces in Mumia's case and involves the same judge. Ronald Castile was a prosecutor in Mumia's case and later a judge on the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. He reviewed and denied Mumia's appeal.
Wait, there's more. Castile was funded and named Man of the Year by the Fraternal Order of Police, the organization most invested in Mumia's conviction and execution.
Oh, no conflict of interest there.
Not only was the judge bought off by the police, so was the DA. But now, for the first time in years, there is an opportunity to bring Mumia home.
Really? How?
Mumia's lawyers were in court on April 24th, coincidentally on Mumia's birthday, and won discovery. In other words, the judge ordered the DA to turn over records pertaining to this case. These documents will show Castile's personal involvement in this historic case.
Only one thing stands in the way of those records seeing the light of day: the notoriously corrupt Philly DA's office.
And now, an abridged history of the Philadelphia DA's office.
What happens in the DA's office is that the way you move up in the DA's office, the way you move up to higher units and get more responsibility and get more prestige is by getting convictions and doing well. And doing well in a prosecutor's office is perceived as getting convictions. And the more aggressive you are, the more convictions you get, the more notches in your belt you get, the more likely you are to move up and into more prestigious roles within the DA's office. So the problem with that is that can, doesn't always, but can create some some injustices along the way, and some unfairness, and some loss of that original purpose of trying to do justice.
Wait, isn't the DA's office supposed to be like the Hall of Justice?
So they say. But since politicians build their careers on winning convictions, justice rides in the back of the bus.
How do they win convictions exactly?
Exhibit A, the DA's training video on how to keep black people off the jury.
You're there to win, and in order to win, and the defense is there to win too, and the only way you're going to do your best is to get jurors that are as unfair and more likely to convict than anybody else in that room. Let's face it again, there's the blacks from the low-income areas are less likely to convict, and as a result, you don't want those people on your jury. And it may appear as if you're being racist or whatnot, but again, you're just being realistic. You're just trying to win the case.
That's fucked up.
The suppression of evidence is another way the DA gets convictions, and it's a systemic practice. For example, Terry Williams was 18 years old when he was sentenced to death for the murder of a man who raped him repeatedly when he was a boy, a fact that the DA managed to hide for 28 years.
In Mumia's case, there was a fourth person at the crime scene, but the prosecutor hid that fact from the defense and the jury.
But wait, isn't the DA's office supposed to be turning records over right now in Mumia's case? What's to stop them from just putting everything through the shredder?
Philadelphia has the distinction of having more juvenile lifers sent to prison as juveniles for life than any other jurisdiction on the planet Earth. It is not used in most of the world, but it is used here in the cradle of the Constitution of the United States.
If the corporate media's job is to sell fear, conflict, and ignorance, yours is to show courage amidst adversity, cooperation, community, complexity, and the sheer genius and brilliance that exists in all of humanity.
It's up to us.
It is up to us.
It's up to us.
It's up to us to pressure the DA's office to release all of the files in this case.
Release all of the files. Release all the files.
Release all the files in this case.
All the files.
District Attorney's Office, how may I help you?
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Green. I'm calling to demand that you follow the court's order and release all of the files of DA Castillo's involvement in Mumia Abu-Jamal's case.
The Abu-Jamal files? Ma'am, we released those on May 30th. We determined Castillo had no involvement in the case.
Fucking bullshit.
DA's office.
It's good.
Shred those.
The DA didn't even try to follow the court order. Telling the DA to release the records in good faith is like telling the police to police themselves.
Right. It's like asking the goat to watch the lettuce.
The DA had over a month to do a focused search for memos, internal notes, and press statements. But like a shady student, it copied and pasted from Google publicly available files at the last minute and turned that into the judge.
So we are here because Mumia Abu-Jamal, a former Black Panther, the most famous prisoner in the world from Philadelphia, was wrongfully accused of killing a white police officer. He was framed, he was set up by the DA and the police because he was a freedom fighter.
Countless numbers in the hundreds of thousands, if not more, in this country are being held in these cages and are innocent of these so-called crimes.
Save our poor life. He is a treasure to our people. So struggle for justice. You can't kill Mumia.
committed to justice, they wouldn't be hiding the files. But they know Castile was involved in Mumia's prosecution.
No, we're not asking, we're demanding. Release all the files. Release the files. Release all the files. Release the files. Bring them all. Bring them all. Bring them all.
They gonna learn today. When he ran for judge, Castile bragged about all of the high-profile cases he had prosecuted, including the 45 people he sent to death row.
The DA's office is obstructing justice. They're not going to follow the law unless the public is watching.
Call, email, or tweet the DA's office and demand that they follow through on Judge Tucker's order and release all of the files in Mumia's case.
The people have a right to know.
And tell them that the days of convictions over justice are numbered.
It's time to
Bring Mumia home.